So I have Andy Richter here with me, and we also have another guest who just came into the studio that I want to bring up, and he is. Let me give you his intro here. He is the critically acclaimed host of the podcasts Having a Go at It, the Dead Parrot Comedy Hour, and Humor Laser Beam Radio. Really?
That's right. Having a Go at It, the Dead Parrot Comedy Hour, and the Humor Laser Beam Radio Show.
Okay, this is English podcaster Bennett Stevens. How are you, Bennett?
It's great to be here. I listened to the first half of the podcast, and bravo to you.
Wait, you listened to the first half of this podcast? This isn't a podcast
in the studio next door, yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you're listening to it, right.
Well, bravo!
Welcome.
It was like watching a football match, one of your soccer matches, and
a
lot of passing, and you wonder, is he going to score? Will there be that one magic moment with Andy Richter? And you never quite got it, but sometimes it's in the passing, just trying to see.
Well, soccer,
will something funny happen?
It was soccer.
Soccer is more of a defensive game, I would say, you know, which is sort of how we've always...
It's not all in the laughs.
We've always viewed this podcast as a defensive podcast. We're trying to make sure no one else gets laughs. We don't care if we get any, as long as no one else does.
Right.
Bravo
Thank God
for you.
there's no vuvuzelas. That would be annoying in a small room.
Brilliant. What you're doing right now, joking around. It's what I'm here to do is just observe. I'm just an observer. It's, watching the American podcasting is like watching the British podcasting in the 90s. It's getting back to the...
Wait, there were podcasts in Britain in the 90s?
Well, we started podcasting in 1995. Yes,
I really don't think you did.
Yes, we did.
Really?
Ricky Gervais had the first podcast
in 1995.
1995, yes. And being here today is like going back in a time machine to watch cavemen discover fire. It's really quite fascinating.
Yeah. Okay, so you English people claim that you invented everything, but I would swear to you that podcasting is an American art form.
Really?
Yeah, sort of like jazz and rock and roll and, tap dancing. It's something that we came up with.
And lynching.
Well, besides lynching, all those things you said were invented by black people, which were brought over from Africa. So really all those things were invented by Africans, if you're really going to
But they were not
serious about it.
They were not invented by English people, though. You will give me that.
Well, podcasting was, and that is my point. That is my main point.
So how long have you been a podcaster? You've podcast several shows.
Yes, I had. Having a Go at It started in 1997, and then I moved on to the Dead Parrot Comedy Hour in 2000, and then the Humor Laser Beam Radio.
Wait, 77 did you say?
1997.
Oh, okay, 97.
Yes,
so you were 2 years late. You didn't have the first podcast.
Well, I was an intern with Ricky, the king of all podcasters.
You mean, are you talking about that one where he just made fun of that retarded guy?
Yes, we call him the American, even though he's not. It's a synonym for retarded over in Britain.
I see. Yeah,
but I've really enjoyed watching you here today. It's fascinating. I would give you hints on what to do, but we have a prime directive, as we call it, of not helping out too much.
I've been doing this for a little while, and while I always welcome hints, I don't think I really need them necessarily. It sounds to me like you're intimating that I'm doing something wrong.
No, it'd be like telling an 8-year-old how to be a 21-year-old. Why would I do that? I want to watch you be 8.
Now, you're the winner of the coveted Bronze Tongue? What is...
The Bronze Tongue Award, yes. You've never heard of it, obviously. No, an American's never been nominated as of yet. So
well, it sounds like it's some sort of British award. I don't know why.
No, it's a universal award.
Universal. Where did it originate?
Well, Earth.
As
far as we know.
Okay. So what did you win for?
Well, for podcasting. That's the podcasting award.
But what show or what achievement?
For the Humor Laser Beam radio show.
Now, when did this start? Because this sounds an awful lot like the title of my show.
What's that?
Comedy Death Ray Radio.
No, mine's Humor Laser Beam Radio.
Uh-huh.
So, did you... Wait a minute, I'm getting this. Did you name your show after mine in honor of mine?
I really believe mine came first. I don't think that you've been doing
Good for you. You're joking. This reminds me of a game we play on our show, regular game called Serious or Sarcastic. Am I being serious or sarcastic?
I really can't tell with English people, to be honest. I'm not sure.
That's why it's a fun game for us. We can't tell either.
For
instance, I loved your show. I love your show. I love your show. Serious or sarcastic?
Well, my show is really awesome, so one would assume that you're being serious. Right?
Sure. Sure, I'm being serious. Serious or sarcastic? See how that works?
I have
People
a
love that
very
show.
clear view of how that works. Andy, what do you have for this gentleman? Anything?
I'm just wondering, what could you describe the difference between having a go at it, the Dead Parrot Comedy Hour, and Humor Laserbeam? Like, what's the sort of thematic difference between the three? Because you obviously,
we
one
grow.
wasn't enough.
We're always growing and changing. Which actually brings up a question I wanted to ask you Americans here. Do you mind if I interview a little Scott? You said I could.
Interview Little Scott? What? Are you talking about my penis?
Interview you a little.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you can interview me.
I don't
sure.
want to interview your penis. Thank you very much. That's Little Scott.
Yeah, please interview me. Sure. Let's turn the tables.
Why is it that the American comedians have to have such an extended run with their television shows to be considered successful?
Well, it's you put a lot of money into television shows, and it seems like a waste of money to create all those sets and buy all the cameras. Every single show they have to buy new cameras for. I don't know if you know that, but you sink so much money into it. It seems a shame to just stop after 6 episodes of something. It almost seems like you're not trying if you just quit that early.
It seems to me that it takes so many more episodes for the Americans to get it right. For instance, The Office. Why is it that the British Office is better than the American Office? Why is that?
Well, some would say that they only had 12 or so, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do 12 episodes, whereas
wait,
the American
why is that
Office,
easy? We got it right.
The American
in 12...
Office has more than 12 amazing episodes, and sure they have some bad ones thrown in there, but they have, probably double or triple that amount of great episodes.
I don't know. I think they have about 9 good episodes. They haven't
Really?
gotten up to 12.
Which ones do you like?
Oh, I don't watch it, believe me. This is only research.
Some research?
Yes.
You've researched the fact they only have 9 good episodes.
Yes.
Where are you getting these statistics?
On my own website, guffaw.uk.
Snob.com.
You can't just
.co.
.uk. You can't just put something on your own website and then research that website. Okay.
Well, I have, and it worked. I have another question.
Okay.
Why are Americans always remaking English television shows, but we don't remake the American TV shows?
Well,
Why
some would
is
say that Coupling was a remake of Friends, or at least a thematic remake of Friends.
No, you tried to remake Coupling, as a matter of fact, and you really screwed it up.
That's true.
Well, it was a rip-off of Friends, which started here.
No, I don't think so.
You know what? It's probably, I would say, because the English don't mind American accents because they don't seem so pretentious and fruity. So the English can watch American product, whereas for us it's a lot harder because we just assume that everybody in the show is gay.
Okay. I'll assume you're being sarcastic.
We're not playing that
you
game,
can't
right?
tell.
Okay.
Do you have another
Why
question?
is our Eddie Izzard better than your Kevin Meaney?
I thought you were going to ask me, why is your Eddie Izzard better than our Eddie Izzard, which I would agree to. Kevin doesn't cross-dress as much.
Not as much, from what I hear.
That's probably the secret, the proof of the pudding.
You will admit here, I mean, you're on the same page with me, that British comedy is better than American comedy.
With that instance, perhaps. But overall, no, I don't agree at all.
Okay, fine. What about Monty Python versus The House of Buggin'? Who's better? Who is better?
You can say the best, the absolute best.
I pulled
English
one
has
out
to
of the
offer.
air.
Oh, really?
Well, what about your Are You Being Served versus our According to Jim? Like, what about that?
I win again.
Yeah, I'm not sure who decided on that.
Yeah, I guess that was a bad example.
We have so many more new shows that we're talking about now. There's the week after next show, Abercrombie, Fiddles and Bank, That's Not My Mum, Teeny Tiny Britain, Oh My Goodness, the Queen is Here. The news is never the new news show.
What is that show? Oh My Goodness, the Queen is Here. What happens on that one?
There's just typical scenarios in everyday English life, and then all of a sudden the Queen shows up out of nowhere.
Is it like a prank show, a hidden camera type show?
No, it's just typical British life, and then the Queen shows up.
Oh, okay, I understand now.
That's hilarious. It
Thanks for
writes
clarifying.
It's Colonel Frothenlager's House of Mongoose.
Okay.
Has your room been cleaned? That's the follow-up to Are You Being Served?
Okay.
Mustard for Nanny. The Misbehaving Packy.
I think that show is going to be on American television. It's called Outsourced. Coming up. Replacing
City
Parks and
Wants a
Rec.
Kid.
Thank goodness.
Bishop Wears a Dress. Blackadder 17. We put the Blackadder in the 1990s. See what happens.
Well, we have shows like every year Americans make new shows too that you guys have never heard of that are
Well, give me a good one.
Well,
that you
Lost.
think
Lost was a great example of a television show that
we're talking comedy here, and the best comedy show you can come up with is Lost.
Oh yeah, so funny. Now, what about Parks and Recreation? Okay, there's a show that is over now that will never be on the air again. Probably.
Is it really? Did it get canceled? I didn't know.
Pretty much, for all intents and purposes.
What does that mean?
Harris is a writer, so I'm just ragging on. No, it won't be on in the fall, but it may be on after that at some point. And
are they going to recast it with English people? I heard there's a rumor. That would make it
make it palatable.
You're one of the writers.
I can't confirm that at all.
Can't confirm you're one of the writers?
No.
Can't confirm what?
That they're replacing the whole cast with British.
Oh, with
people.
British people.
When you
well,
write,
it would be pretty fun to happen in Indiana.
It would make the show more realistic. I'll give you that.
when you write the
end all your pitches, right? You say the joke and then you say.
Yeah, don't worry about talking into a mic, Paul. If you're just going to disrupt the show, just totally, just
Never mind.
Let's take this off mic. Now, what do you got, Paul? Come on.
Well, now the pressure's too much.
Yeah,
the pressure's
the
too
moment's
much.
past. The magic's gone.
All right, Andy, are you ever going to be on Parks and Rec? If
no,
they make more episodes,
no. I'm too close of friends with Amy Poehler.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I've known her for far too long, and
it would be
I'm
difficult to
far
be in
too-
a scene with her. You know too much.
It would be so hard after having been friends with her for close to 20 years.
Yeah.
To actually get a part on that fucking show.
It would be too
serious
emotional for
or
you.
sarcastic.
Well, Bennett,
I would like
think-
to applaud Mr. Andy Richter, by the way.
Oh, really?
The late night show that only went, 7 months? That's the way to do it British style. They obviously got it right. They didn't have to do it anymore. They got out while the getting was good.
That's right. We gave
I
them
applaud
just
you.
enough. Left them wanting more.
Bennett, did you have any more questions for me, or is this? Have I had enough of your sort of?
I don't know. Do you have any
insulting
questions?
tone.
Do you have any questions for me? Do you want to know about any of? Oh, what's the best sketch group these days? Coming up, the best up and coming sketch group.
There was a great one called Upright Citizens Brigade, which was on for a
Yes.
little while. But according to you, they probably were nothing, right?
I hate the Upright Citizens Brigade. In particular, well, I do like Matt Besser. His solo stuff.
So he's the one American comedian you can get behind?
He is. He's the one that seems to have a British sensibility that we can all get behind.
General disdain for all others.
Exactly.
All right, Bennett.
A warrantless superiority. Oh, it's like a breath of fresh air.
Keep going.
All right, Bennett. Thank you so much for whatever it is you offered to us for that segment.
Thank you, Scott, and keep trying. Don't give up.
Yeah, okay.
Don't give up.
I
Good
won't.
for you.
Wow. Just in time. You were just about to